Right, so to quickly go through the marking scheme, you're going to hear me talk about PCLM a lot when it comes to the lessons on paper 2. Okay, so PCLM is the code that we use as examiners to mark your work. Okay, we use the PCLM code on your question B, which is your short writing task on paper 1. We also use it on the composition, which is your essay on paper 1. We use it on the single text. We don't use it anymore on the comparative, we use it on the comparative, and we use it on the poetry section as well. We don't use it on the unseen. Okay, so PCLM, that PCLM grading is, you will see that if you get your script back, you'll see PCLM used on the paper. Okay, so what is PCLM? PCLM is clarity of purpose, coherence of delivery, efficiency of language, and accuracy of mechanics. Okay, so 30% of all grades for all the questions for your comprehension and your unseen will be will be analysed using clarity of purpose, coherence, delivery, efficiency of language, and then 10% goes to mechanics. Okay, so again, if you're considering like what kind of breakdown is that? So if you are doing PCLM, okay, for let's say the question B, so it's out of 15, 15, 15, 15, and 5. Okay, and that adds up to 50. All right, excuse me. Sorry. That adds up to 50. Okay, so you are marked out of 15 for your P, C 15, L 15, and 5 for your mechanics. Okay, so again, you're 30, 30, 30, and 10 out of 50. So X 50. All right, so what is P? P is your purpose, your clarity of purpose. Okay, meaning how well have you answered the question? Fundamentally, that is what clarity of purpose means. You know, has the student understood the task, and has the student carried out the task, and what is the standard of that answer like? P is what we call the anchor mark. Okay, and you're probably going to hear me talk about that might reduce your P, that's going to benefit your P. You're going to hear me say that a lot, okay? And what that means is that is going to boost your P mark. You have to get a good P mark in order for you to get to get a good mark. Because if I go back to that screen, so like essay 15, 15, 15, and 5, okay, so you have to get a good P mark, because everything else, your coherent delivery mark, your language mark, your mechanics mark, they are all generally either equivalent to your P mark or less than. Okay, you cannot, your C and your L mark cannot be higher than your P mark. So your P mark, how you've answered the question, the marks you get for that, for your clarity of purpose mark, is key. And when we start going through the lessons, you'll understand, right? As an examiner, I see students come into an exam, read the question, and not actually answer the question that's on the paper. They may have answered a question similar to that, maybe outside of the exam, or they haven't read the question properly. If you do not answer the question on the exam and answer the different sections of the question, you cannot get a good P mark, because you have not answered the question. Your purpose is not there. You haven't been clear in your purpose in answering the question. All right, okay. So simply put, right, your clarity of purpose mark is to answer the question. Okay, you have to display a clear and purposeful engagement with the set task. Right, your coherence of delivery, then your C mark. Right, again, 30% of the marks awarded to a particular question will go here. So again, so your, let's say PCLM, right? So again, if we were doing maybe the PCLM for the single text, which is X60. Okay, so we're doing 18, 18, 18, and 6. Okay, so your coherence of delivery will be marked out of 18. All right, your P mark, your anchor mark, have you answered the question, will be a certain figure out of 18. Okay, let's say you're doing well, you get 15. Right, your coherence delivery could be the same, or it probably will be, maybe perhaps lower, could be the same, but it cannot be higher than 15. So we'll give you 30. Okay, right, now the thing that and again, I'm not going to get too bogged down with this, because this is something I'll be going through again and again and again. Your coherence of delivery is, have you answered the question consistently? Have you given a good introduction? Have you developed your points well? All right, and have you written a good conclusion? Oftentimes the answer can be well done up until perhaps the middle. It might falter in the middle, and then it comes back at the end, right? And then, so that would mean that your coherence of delivery is quite good. Okay, if you've got a really strong introduction, you've established your arguments very well, you've well developed points, you have a suitable quotation used, and you have a really forceful conclusion, well then that answer has been consistently addressed throughout, and your coherence of delivery mark, or C mark, will probably be equivalent to your P mark. Okay, all right. So what the coherence of delivery mark is about is, you must organize your ideas, use appropriate examples, have a logical approach to answering the question asked. Okay. So the L mark is, how do you use language? It's efficiency of language. So again, 30% of marks available for this task. So again, 18, 18, and 18, 6. So again, 18 marks. You can be marked X18 in a 60 mark answer, which is your single text question. Okay. What this efficiency of language mark is for is the language used appropriate to the task? Okay. Is the language mature? Is it used correctly? Is there good control? Is the syntax good? Are the sentences functional? Are they clear? You know, your language needs to be operating at its best to maximize your opportunity to get a good language mark. Okay, to improve your language, you need to read more. It's as simple as that. Okay, so again, the more you read, the better your language will become. The more you write, the better your language will become. Okay, redrafting essays and redrafting pieces and redrafting paragraphs is a really good way of improving your language. Okay, and that leads us on to accuracy mechanics. So what are the mechanics? What's your M mark? So your M mark is worth 10% of the mark. So again, 6 marks, you'll be marked out of 6 marks, let's say on your 60 mark answer, marked out of 5 marks on your maybe your 50 mark answer, you're marked out of 10 marks for your mechanics on your composition, etc., etc. Okay, mark out of 7 out of your 70 mark answers. So that means that your spelling and your punctuation must be good. All right, otherwise you will lose marks on that. Okay, now students often say, well, if we lose a few marks, it won't matter. No, it won't matter necessarily if you only lose a few marks here and there, but consistently, if your spelling and grammar and your punctuation is off, okay, in every answer, well then that's going to definitely add up. Okay, so 5 errors, 5 M errors, okay, will 5 M errors will have an issue, will bring you down, basically. Okay, and again, the more errors you have, the more your your errors will be, you know, marked down. Okay.